What's up everyone, it's HM Stopmotions here, and in today's video I've got a slightly different one for you guys. I'm going to be showing you some tips on how you can successfully make your first stop motion. Now before we get onto the tips, there are some myths that you should know about stop motion or Lego stop motion in general that aren't entirely true. So the first one being that you don't actually need to have really expensive equipment to animate. You do not need the best camera or tripod. All you really need is some sort of smart device such as an iPad or phone that you can use to download an app that will help you make your first stop motion and all your other stop motions after. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. So before you actually start animating, you're going to need an app that will put all your pictures together and make sure that they run smoothly one after the other. So a perfect app for this, especially when you're starting out, is an app called Stopmotion Studio. It is free on Apple Store and also on Play Store, and I would definitely recommend this if you're wanting to start animating and you're not looking for something that costs any money. Now that you've downloaded Stopmotion Studio, you should be ready and in the app, and you should be able to start making your first stop motion movie. So in order to start making that movie, you just press in the top left hand corner of your screen on the new movie sign, and then this should give you a picture of what is in front of you, so it'll be using the camera on your device. So if the camera on your device is broken, I would suggest getting another device to use. Then to start animating, press the camera icon in the top right hand corner, and then you will be able to start animating. All you need to do is click this red button, and your camera should start successfully taking pictures. Now there is a around $10 app purchase that is optional when you're in the app, and this will just give you access to a little bit more special effects, such as if you press on the settings, it will give you access to things such as full screen, 4K mode, green screen, and much more. But in the beginning, you don't really need to get this, just experiment with the app a little bit. So while we're on Stop Motion Studio, I may as well explain frame rates to you guys. Frame rate, FPS or pictures per second, is how many actual pictures there are in your stop motion every second. So obviously the more pictures, the smoother your animation will be. I currently film at 15 frames per second, but when you're first starting out, I would recommend 8, as this is not too hard to work with. Now I've explained how Stop Motion Studio actually works, now you're going to need to obviously be able to use it. Now I wouldn't recommend filming Lego stop motion, which is what we're going to be focusing on in this video. Forming Lego stop motion without a base plate, because this can be very problematic. So I would recommend just getting a small base plate if you just want to make a small stop motion. So for this example, I'm just going to be using a simple square base plate. Now for example, if I just put this base plate down, as you notice, it may move around quite a lot. An easy fix to this problem that many beginners make is just by putting some sticky tack on all 4 corners of your base plate. This will ensure that it does not move around and you can animate knowing that your set will not be moving. You have made sure that your base plate is very secure and unable to move. You should also make sure that your camera is not moving. Now, ideally, your camera or device you're using should be on a stand so that it can actually be able to record your footage. So the stand I'm using right now is just this stand that I made out of Lego. This proves that you do not need an amazing tripod or anything very expensive to actually start animating. This is what I've been using since I've started animating, and I don't plan to change it soon as it's working out for me right now. So now that you've gotten your camera and your stand, you need to make sure that your stand is stuck down properly, and for this you can use sticky tack as you did with the base plate. Alright, your base plate and your camera is both stuck down securely and nothing is going to move when you're animating. But now you also need to ensure that your audience can actually see what you are animating, and to do this there needs to be sufficient lighting in your set. So my first biggest advice to you would probably be to just close your curtains or blinds, because this is one of the mistakes that beginner animators make when they're making their first stop motion or animation, because if you do not close your curtains and blinds, outside light comes in and this results in light flicker, which doesn't look professional at all in my opinion. So to easily fix this, as I said, close your blinds, and then to generate sufficient inside light, all you'll need to do is just get a couple of desk lamps, I've got two shining here, and the reason why it would be good to have two is so that you can have one shining on that side of your set and the other on the other side, so that one side of your set doesn't look perhaps darker than the other one. And the reason why I have baking or grease paper on my lamps is so that there is no light flicker on the Lego. Now that you have gotten a great stop motion app, fixed most of the problems that beginner animators make, and made your set secure, you're almost ready to start animating. But before you go and start, I would just like to tell you one thing, a few quick tips about set building. Now, it's very important that when you're building sets, and for example, you don't have a lot of time, it's very important to only build what the camera sees. I'll say that again, only build what the camera sees. For example, if you're building, say, a corridor and you want your minifigure to walk down a corridor, only build a wall in front of the camera and on the side of the camera. Then if you tilt your camera at an angle, it'll only see the two walls you've built. This will save you a lot of time and effort, and this way you can start animating as quickly as possible. Alright guys, that is going to be all of my tips for this video. I really hope you have enjoyed and that some of my advice has helped you. So happy animating, and as usual, see you in the next one soon.